printed out.
But you printed it.
It printed it out.
That's half your battle.
Look on our
Let me check. Just give me one moment. I just need to send this email. All right, Dominic Nicholson. We're just waiting for your, sir, we're waiting for your attorney.
Oh, I'm here.
Ah, okay, come forward. Sorry, come forward.
Okay, sorry, Judge.
No problem. All right. All right, so expert, GSR expert.
Yes, Shope? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Shope? Okay, so the Ally's in touch with her. She's delivered a discovery packet that they're gonna upload to e-discovery.
Okay,
And we all agree she's designated as an expert. So we're not gonna do written designations, where defense and state designate her,
okay,
if that's okay.
yes.
And we all agree for her appearance by Zoom. So I think we've got that situation pretty well covered.
Okay,
And then Ally said she would get me a 404B and witness list together. And I trust that she'll do that as soon as she can. And we discussed a trial date of August 13th.
all right. Your jury trial date will be August 13th. Your plea deadline has expired. The court will only accept plea bargain agreements in this case with good cause. Otherwise, you have to plea open to the court. Do you understand? Any questions about anything? All right, so what they'll do is they'll bring you over dressed for trial. You'll be brought over dressed in whatever clothing you were arrested in. If you wish to be attired in something different, you'll have to do a clothing exchange with your counsel.
Yeah, we talked about.
And counsel, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, because I know rules change every 10 minutes, just let the court know and we'll see what we can do to expedite that.
Okay, I dread going over there and everything is. But, okay, I need to review my file.
Mhm.
Mr. Nicholson has filed some pro se motions. I know that you would want me to adopt those if I want to urge them.
Yes.
Or, and I believe I have a couple of motions. If, I don't know if they're, I just need to review it. I don't think they're evidentiary.
Mhm.
So I guess you would do the motions. the
Well,
day of-
if there's some motion, what do you anticipate the
I-
motions being?
I really have to look at it again.
All right, if it's something you want set, just let the court know. We'll set it and we'll hear it before then.
Okay,
All right,
that sounds good. All right, and I'll work on that and see what we need. Okay,
all right.
so that's it. Maybe we big.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Always good seeing you.
Thank you, thank you. I think we're. you know, I'll work on this.
All right, Norma, on page 2. Have you had contact with Alberto Acevedo and Maria Ruiz?
I kind of a text judge on my lunch break.
All right, could I see that file? It's Maria Anita Ruiz. Because I think, I'm gonna see what I've written in there. He may have asked for a different date. No, he's supposed to be here for that date and he was going to go to the community court.
Probably. You're late.
I mean, left.
I know. I guess I would get a large.
And could I see the file on David Mendoza?
I'll get all that. You just have to trust my good taste, which I do have good taste. Thank you. It's nice to hear from someone else and be just self-proclaimed, but don't, whatever. I had clients come in, I didn't even recognize the polygraph, I'm not just there, like, oh. So. Right, release the-
All right, thank you.
Okay, yes, sir.
I hear, yeah, TJ, he's
Judge,
Yes.
Nick, just ex parte, I think it's likely, I'm gonna see the 30.
All right, just one moment, just one second. Yes, wait one second. I, this mouse is just. Yes. How are you doing? How was your fourth?
It was good. I'll show you my favorite pictures in the real quick.
Okay,
Yes.
hey, you made it back safely. That always makes for a good trip.
Excellent shots.
You know, that's my favorite place.
Yeah, so cool. I only had a couple hours in here, so
Mhm.
I gotta go.
You gotta go.
So I like this picture a lot.
Oh, I do too. You should make that into,
A poster or something.
well, wall art.
Yeah. Yeah, I took this one also.
That's beautiful. That doesn't even look real.
I know. I love it. And then
So where was that with the horseback riding?
that was at a place called Saints plural, Saints Maurice Del Mar, which is on the coast,
Mhm.
on the Meg, but it's kind of like not all the way to Saint Tropez or starting like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's kind of a lesser known.
And what was the weather like?
During the day. During the day. Like, I'm like, what is this?
I got a sweater. I need
I
it.
think I brought one. And then this is a picture my mom took of me. With my little waders. out in
Oh,
the
that's
water.
beautiful. Okay, I'm telling you, that picture and the picture of you on the horseback,
Mhm.
you should make that into a painting.
Maybe.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
figure out how to download them off my phone and do it.
Well, you know, if you, there are places now, and of course you have apps
Yeah.
that can
maybe.
turn it in, and they can turn it into,
Like
Art Deco or whatever you want it.
Yeah.
But people are always saying, instead of putting up your standard photos that you just buy or
Mhm.
paintings that you just buy, do something that has meaning. I think those would look great. And you could do it in black and white if you want to.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So, but it was fun. It was a lot of long lines,
Mhm.
a lot of hiding time.
Oh, that's good.
But I didn't take my weight in shows, so.
Hey, that's okay.
I need to start jogging again because gotta lose elements.
Ah, well, I'm still trying my best to stick to my diet.
Oh, is that- is gonna affect Is that hurricane gonna affect any of your?
No, I talked to Mom and she said that it is very dark there. But she says,
It's leaning east,
yeah.
right?
but she said rain hasn't hit them. Well, no, I take that back. She said, I just talked to her and she said it had been raining. But she said it's not bad. I just don't want them to lose any power.
When is the main storm supposed to hit? Tomorrow?
That I
Tomorrow?
no, they were saying today, because when I was flying back, they were saying if you didn't get a flight,
Where were you?
oh, I was in Houston trying to fly out. And so they were saying if you didn't get on a flight that put you at your destination before 10,
Okay.
they were not going to fly you out. And they had told me the flights today in the morning were going to be canceled.
I guess it's moving along.
Yeah. But they said as it goes over land, it's going to be, less.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
look.
glad that your phone is doing okay.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll get this. Somebody wanted to say Defense Counsel on vacation in Spain.
Who's that?
I'm gonna find out who that is. No, it's David McLean.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, it's always great to get away.
It is.
Oh, they said, I think some people were killed running with the bulls or something already.
I would expect that to happen. They're running the polls.
Yeah.
I've
Mhm.
never had any desire to watch that, see that, or do that at all. There
No.
was this really cool horse race in Siena,
Mhm,
where everyone stands in the middle of the old square and they have horses, like they race horses bareback around you.
mhm.
That's,
Oh,
no horses are harmed usually, so.
all right, states. Mario Resendez is going to be recalled for the 22nd. His attorney is in Spain.
They said, Laura, I'm like,
Deputy Laura, will you let Mr. Resendez know that we'll recall him back for the 22nd?
Yeah, I, on the other hand, because of a lifetime of making dubious choices, would love to do the running of the bulls. Now, I want to be in better shape before I do.
Hey,
it.
let's not do that.
Oh, I want to do it.
Let's watch it and pretend we did.
I'm gonna do it. Not dead yet. Actually, the survival rates are pretty good with it.
Yeah, I just don't, no. And then my mom would say, what are
You're
you
from the
thinking?
Country, aren't you? You've been
Yeah,
around.
but my mom is like, no, I will not be doing that. I'm not gonna have my mom on television saying someone forced her baby to run with the bulls. And then somebody releases a video where I'm like, hey, we're running with the bulls. Yeah,
Hi, Mama.
yeah, no, I will not be doing that. So I think my heart would just race to.
You are so lucky to still have your mother.
Yeah.
Enjoy her while you do.
Oh, I do. I was telling them, we spent, because people always say, what do you do when you go home? And usually my mom and I sit around, bake, eat together, talk to
Yep.
each other and watch movies. We were watching, there are 3 series that we love to watch together. One is called My Life is Murder. The lead actress in that is Lucy Lawless from Xena Warrior Princess. It's
Yeah.
very good. They have 4 seasons. And so I'm hoping they have a 5th season. The other one, we like the Madame LeBlanc series.
Okay.
And we also like Agatha Raisin. So Agatha Raisin, we're like, please. Oh, and we love Brokenwood Mysteries. But it's all on Acorn.
Okay.
And my mom also loves Doc Martin. There's a theme here.
Yes. Yes, there
We
is.
like to watch and see if we can solve it.
Did she read the John D. McDonald mysteries? Because those were a favorite of my mother's. They all had colors in the book titles. My mom had all of them, and I've wondered what happened to those.
But no, she loves that. And when she tells me when she was in school, they actually had Dragnet books. And so she would read those. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
My father hated Dragnet. Of course, the reason was he was actually an old liberal. He was actually an old radical. He had
Mhm.
been a card-carrying member of the Communist Party for a while in the 30s and 40s. He was
Mhm.
involved in the first wave of union activism
Mhm.
in the 30s. And
You need to write your memoirs.
I've had a very weird but very cool life. There's a reason I want to run with the bulls, but
Well, I'll tell you what,
But-
if you decide to run with the bulls, I will come, I will take a video, but I will tell my mom I tried to talk you out of it. So there you go.
she's here to make sure they follow the medical POA.
Yeah.
But no, Dad did not care for the LA Police Department. And this was back in the early 70s. He was telling us this. He's like, they run all over people's rights. They do all this. And, you know, much later on, as I'm an adult, I'm thinking, what interesting episodes in your past do we not know about, Pop? Because we were, you know, the result of a later marriage for both of them. It's like, and the more I know about Dad, the more it's like, he had a really very cool, much edgier life. I don't want to go
Yeah.
into too much detail. YouTube doesn't need.
Well, see, you should write his, write a
Actually
story about it.
should. There's some stuff, there were some stories that I was like, no way, that's true. He's just BS.
Don't write anything where the federal government comes looking for you, though.
No, they won't. And anything suspicious, thankfully, there's nothing bad enough like that. But there are interesting things like, supposedly he got run out of Arizona by a guy named Indian Miller. And I remember rolling my eyes at that one. Well, the internet's a terrible thing.
Mhm.
I found evidence of it.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't lying.
See, okay.
How cool is that?
I am telling you, if when I was in high school, we ended up going to a nursing home. And it's always great to go to nursing homes. You hear some of the most interesting stories.
Yeah.
And so we learned a lot and you hear a lot and you're just like, wow. Yeah. Because there was this comedian, he just said, do you know if you're 30 years old, Google was not till later in your life? Because just think about it, when we started practicing, yeah, you would have to run over to the law library to look
Actually,
up
I
stuff in
missed the
books.
law library
Yeah.
because it had free Westlaw. Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
pay $200 a month.
Oh, no.
And that's for the stripped down plan. I
Mhm.
mean,
And then we would have to look up things in the phone book. Nobody will understand, no young person will understand when we say, let your fingers do the walking. They're like, what? Yellow pages.
I actually made my daughter learn how to make a call on a payphone, which I figured you never know. There might be some time in her life where the phones are out. and she
May
needs
need
to
it
do
during the
something.
zombie apocalypse.
That's right.
So we'll see.
Okay, do we need to approach you about
Sure.
Jean Marocano? Where did Eddie go?
Jean, could I see the following Jean?
It's Morocoimo Carrasquel,
All right, power scale, please.
probably filed under M.
Or C. All right, let's come forward. Just 1 second. It's gonna come to me. You shouldn't ask me that. Then it come. Yes, Kimberly Bush.
Bush. What did I do?
Oh, no, then she was asking me for your name and I said, if you would not have asked me, I would have told you right away.
No, just LY. I used to joke my parents couldn't afford the E. They were honest people.
I like that.
They were funny.
All right, so where are we on this case?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have conferred this morning with Prosecutor Eddie Flores, and I've received an offer and discussed it with my client. I think that I need to finish looking at the discovery because I may come up with, I believe I'm onto some grounds that might induce the state to give a considerably better offer. So I'd like to ask that we set this case for a plea deadline in about a month, if that would be.
Sure. And let me ask you, is your client a citizen or no?
My client is not a citizen. That is part of the reason why we don't want to proceed today. I have gotten some advice from the MAC, but I was planning on talking to them more because
Okay.
it's in his distinct best interest that I do so.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. If you'll recall this in 30 days for a plea deadline date?
Yes. August 6th.
I think that works. Let me grab my phone.
Okay.
Thank you,
Sure.
Your Honor.
All right, so we're gonna be back on August 6th. That will be your plea deadline date. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the offer that's been tendered. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, and your attorney has informed the court that there are things she wants to look into. I'm giving you the August 6th date, but if she wants you brought over earlier than that, she will let the court know. All right, any questions?
No,
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
maybe excuse your honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arlene.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna grab some water.
Yeah. Prior to all this, from what I don't know.
Here. Oh, yes.
All right, thanks. You too.
Need this.
Howdy y'all.
Hey, Jason, so it's looking at yeah. So. Yeah, that's what, yeah, sure.
Bless you.
Oh,
I'm gonna go check you back. All right, just give me 1 minute. Let me just see.
oh, yeah.
The senator doesn't help her conversation. Pretty much just why I want to assist it, so I would like to. This is not so good, helping her, that's the only way that.
Coming in the wrong place.
Oh, because they probably don't.
I need to see you in the back real quick.
Bum, bum, bum. But
Oh, and Andrew. I don't know if y'all wanted to look at this. And I will be back.
oh, I thought you meant.
No, not me. What, she can't come. I can't come. I'm not invited.
Back here. I guess that's my biggest fear is like, is there anything from probation? And come for her, his sister to get money, that's probation contracts. I don't know. In the whole case, we still don't. That's a lot.
What?
I
get to get him out of her. Not shaking his feet. He was rattling, he was probably grabbing the bottom and just shaking it.
So, I say worse, Jason, it really a lot. Actually, 2 pages.
There's nothing else in there.
There's a lot of dismissals on this. I've seen worse than that. Well, I'm just saying, there's a lot of dismissals on these 2 pages.
Let this go, because only when there's water, it's going to water.
It's always these.
Ew.
That are the
We had a guy about 2 years ago. He took off his shirt trying to flush the toilet and his closet smelled. He told touch. He's downstairs. He was in the room. There he was. Bring him up here. He doesn't have a shirt. Bring him up here. He put on his wet shirt. Which was good. It's on YouTube somewhere. We went on that water t-shirt, his sweatshirt, and he was wearing red. And then he got in our house. So I think
I was sworn he said 2 years, but he didn't write it in there. I said I could have sworn he said 2 years, but he didn't write it. 2 years on it, but he didn't write it on the plea. When I talked to him the first time. But. Didn't write it, he said. What other avenues do you go, like, I know what's his name, does a lot of domestic health stuff. And his Portland, the public defender. What else? That's. Yeah. I guess I'll wait for her to see if she can provide any guidance for what can or can't be done. Okay. Because no, I have to run into 226 and I'm waiting for probation to talk to them. You have a probation?
if she would just do it right now.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
But that's a popcorn. He really thought that was the, like, oh, nice, thanks. I appreciate the compliment. It's kind of favor.
It's gonna close out. And then you're gonna go right back into the number. Right on that pretty little bit. I don't.
All right, is anyone ready?
Yes, Judge. It's a compliance.
All right, Mr. Sanchez. Let's see. All right, so what are we here for?
Judge, the last time we were in court, you lifted the no unsupervised contact with children with no opposition from ADA Jackson. He is still living in the sober home, the sober living facility. And you just wanted him to come back to give a quick update on how he was doing, how things were going with the kids and so forth.
All right, how are things going? Talk to me.
Everything's going very well. I'm still at the sober living house, and so my same job. I just purchased a truck for the weekend, and I had my kids all weekend at the sober living house, and took them swimming at my dad's house, took them to church, and
Okay, so what did you all do this weekend? Watch fireworks or?
no, I didn't watch any fireworks or anything. We just went swimming with my dad, and then I took them. They stayed the night at my house, and then I took them to church in the morning. Go to Mission Point Church, or by it's out of the Norris Conference Center,
Okay.
and by like Nordstrom Mall. So
Oh, I've been.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Have you ever heard of Hervé? I think his name is Hervé.
No.
He was the one who gave the sermon.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I've been going there every Sunday and just doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay, so what are your future plans?
Well, my next future plans is just to finish with probation. And since I bought the truck and I like own it, I don't have to make payments. So I'm gonna start saving up money maybe for an apartment or a house, but that's gonna be later on. I think I'm gonna stay at Silver Living for a while because it's very inexpensive and um over this past, I've been in the Silver Living House since October because I got out of jail more or less around October, and a month after I got out, I went to the Silver Living House on my own. And it's been like the same group of guys that have been there, so I'm really close with them. And I think I'm gonna just stay there for a while and try to build myself up for when I'm ready to leave.
Okay, because you know, and of course, I've never been in the situation that you've been in, but what do I do know from my experience in working in treatment courts, it's that it's sort of easy to fall off the path because problems will hit you. And then usually people will go back to what they know. And I don't want that to happen to you. So just make sure you stay vigilant in everything that you're doing.
Yes, Judge.
And if there's an issue or life pops up and hits you in the face and you don't know what to do, you can always call your probation officer. You can always come back here. Don't fall back into the same patterns, because if you do, you could end up losing your children and everything that you worked hard for. You understand?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so what do you want from the court?
I I don't want anything else from the court right now. I just would like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity for probation and allowing me to be with my children and lifting that off of my probation. I'm really grateful. And a lot of times, like I told you this last time, that like I know you have your YouTube, I'll watch your YouTube sometimes, and like I'll watch people that like really make bad choices or bad mistakes, and some people like just would rather go to prison than be on probation. I'll kind of do that to stay grateful, and I just want to say thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I'm serious. If something hits you in the face, don't throw up your hands. Think of your children, call probation, or either you can come back here. We're here Monday through Friday.
Yes, Judge, and I feel I really will. I feel really comfortable like with my probation officer. She's been very nice and like very helpful with things. As long as I do my part, you know. And I appreciate you being welcoming like that to the court.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right. You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
LaShawn, that's on my to-do list. I need to learn how to swim. All right. All right, but Norma, are you able to swim?
Which one?
Both.
I can.
I know she can. Norma, you can swim? When's the last time you swam? All right, that's a no. She can't swim.
My kids go to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jennifer, are you able to swim?
Yeah, I mean, I am skilled enough to save myself. I always tell people,
So
there's
you're
no
the
way
one-
with me.
You're on
I'm
your.
sorry. I actually didn't learn to swim until I was like 15 or 16.
All right, that's on my to-do list. I don't have bucket lists. I tell people it's my to-do list. So Maria, are you able to swim?
No, but I can boat and I can try to swim.
Okay.
I see something here, Judge, you're the only one that don't know how to.
Jason, are you able to swim? Swim. Oh. Andrew, are you able to swim?
Yes.
I would have been really surprised.
Joe,
if Jason had said he
are you
could.
able to swim?
I'm sorry, I could not understand.
Are you able to swim? Can you swim?
Swim in those.
Of course.
I don't even think he can.
Jason.
Doesn't everybody know how to swim?
I strongly believe if needed to, I would be able to float and save my life. I don't know. but that's on my to-do list. People tell me, Stephanie, just go to the Y. So I'm gonna learn how to swim.
Yeah. I went to the natatorium.
Well, I'm not saying I swim now, but yeah, back in the day, I swam.
Didn't you see Sleeping with the Enemy, which he did, she learned how to swim.
Okay. I don't have a sleeping with the enemy problem, but I will learn how to swim.
She has some.
Well, first you learn how to float,
She
Okay.
was going to.
and that's easy.
All right. Floating is easy.
And then dog paddling, is swimming. That's
Okay.
also easy.
So we had to.
I will tell you, someone tried to teach me and I sank like a stone.
Oh, gosh.
I went straight to the bottom.
What's my skill level? So I had to start my lessons with like the little kids.
Oh, here's,
But you know what? I learned.
let me just tell you, I'm not ashamed. I will start with the toddlers.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I can do this, I can do this.
You know, that reminds me of that episode of Seinfeld where Kramer was doing karate, as he says, and he was winning all the time.
Yeah, 'cause the little
He was with the little children.
that one.
Oh, yes, that one was hilarious.
Didn't you go on the ocean on a cruise at one time?
No, that's why I don't do cruises, because I can't swim. But I did fall into a pool in Greece and I almost drowned until they told me to stand. So, and you know what I did? I stood and I was okay. And my mom knew right away something had happened because she immediately called.
Was it big fish?
Yes, I think it's mom's intuition. I was with Virginia Mauer on that trip and she calls. Virginia, what's happened to my baby?
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm fine. She's like, no, you're not. I can tell. Okay, that's one of the other things we're going to do in this court. Make sure everybody knows how to swim.
On this.
Swimming left it.
I know, we're going to do it.
I would think like refreshing.
Okay.
It's been a while. My phone just- I don't know,
Just like to see there.
So I learned to survive. But yeah, we actually jumped in a pool and stuff, like it was even three.
Oh my gosh.
He doesn't know. You hear with these kids.
Down under the dash. And it was, down there. No, the sergeant.
All right, where did Acevedo go?
You said you had to go to the.
226, if I remember correctly.
All righty.
Thank you. But
Hello, Mr. Dotson. I'm doing okay. So we just have this set for jury trial. Correct, counsel?
I'm so sorry.
I said we just have this set for a jury trial.
Right.
All right, so we'll be bringing you back tomorrow.
Well, I'm not going here to request a reset.
Mhm.
There are two cases.
Mhm.
One case is, the police report's all messed up and opposing counsel would agree that that first September case.
Mhm.
uh, That is, ends in 3153.
Yes.
My guy was the passenger and the driver is the one that had the drugs and the money,
Okay.
not my guy.
All right. And so then the 3081 case?
That's the one where I can't find my discovery, but I know that they have it and they've shown it to me. And on that particular case, my client borrowed the car like 15 to 20 minutes ahead of time from somebody. And that somebody I've talked to on the phone, he's admitted it, but he won't cooperate. And he said he was going to cooperate and bring me in the proof the next day,
Mhm.
and he did not. So I need to get out a warrant, and in the meantime, tonight, this afternoon, I can go to that place on,
Well, let me ask you this. So this is set for jury trial tomorrow. Are you saying you're not ready for tomorrow?
depends on which case.
Well, State, will you be ready on the case ending in 3081?
I believe so, Your Honor.
That's the one,
3081.
that's the one I need a reset on.
All right, because I don't think if there's an issue, State, is there an issue with 3153?
How do you mean an issue, Your Honor?
I'm sorry. Defense counsel is saying
Oh,
that there's something wrong with the police report.
there is something wrong with the police report. The officers misidentify the two people in the vehicle.
Okay.
Now, whether that is an issue that interferes with our ability to present the case, I don't think so. It certainly opens the officers to cross-examination on the basis of their credibility.
Okay.
We can still present.
All right. So we'll come back tomorrow.
On which case?
The state is saying they will be ready to proceed on 3153.
Okay,
Now,
If now I say proceed on 3153, there are other cases that are ahead of you, Mr. Dotson.
and Your Honor, apologies for the interruptions, but the analyst in 3153 is Leslie Choppy,
Mhm.
who, if I am informed correctly, no longer works in Bear County. And we have great difficulty securing that analyst for testimony.
but wait,
So-
let me interrupt if I may. And being the gracious person I am, I don't mind if they get a reset.
All right. So there can either be a reset or if y'all want, if there are no objections, the analyst can always appear by Zoom. Although,
It would be
well,
your
there's,
tax extender.
yes.
I don't think we'd have a problem with the analyst proceeding by Zoom.
All right, well, we'll see. There may, I don't know if there are going to be chain of custody issues with her appearing by Zoom or not. But I tell you what, we'll come back on tomorrow and we'll see where we are.
Yes,
We'll see where we are with your discovery issue.
Yes.
And if you wish to have a continuance, the court will entertain it at that time.
all righty.
All right, so Deputy Laura, if you can, and Deputy Mahia, if you make sure that Mr. Dotson is brought overdressed. All right, is there anything else?
Do you have
Oh.
appropriate clothing there? Do I need to call somebody to bring something? We can talk back here. Maybe we can excuse.
Yes.
But I'm glad that-
Always play in the neighborhood. Bye-bye. Have a good day, sweetie. How are you? So long.
Very good.
Yeah, I like it. Look correct. Hey. We're down on the knee. I was away from Mercy. I'm trying.
Council, are you ready on Anita?
They're working on the plea bargain or the paperwork.
All right, thank you.
I have plea paperwork in the 226 as well. Do you think I can go down there real quick and take that?
What
plea?
does real quick mean?
It's already complete. I just have to go in front of the judge.
Okay. Are they in custody?
No, they're online.
All right, so that needs to be quick because they need to be able to transfer for her back before 4.
Got you. I'll be fast as possible. If they tell me they're gonna take a while, I'll just come back upstairs.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
Oh, it's a lot of work.
Oh, okay.
Here's the new one.
All right, thank
You
you.
can just throw that one.
Okay. Oh, and on this one, Jennifer, they said they're doing a plea.
Okay.
And that will be the last one for today. All right, we're gonna go on the record in 2024 CR 4260W and 2022. I'm sorry, in 2024 CR 4259W. Can I have parties announced for the state, for the defense?
Roy Barrera Jr.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Just give me a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we're back on the record in 2024 CR 4259W and 2024 CR 4260W. State of Texas versus Renee Angel Cantu. Can I have parties re-announce for the record for the state,
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
for the defense?
Roy Barrera Jr.
And you're Mr. Cantu?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Why are you banging on the walls in the back?
My ankle monitor was going off 5 separate times. Officer Mejia heard me or heard it. I was like putting it on the door. Just so I didn't want to get in trouble. It would be my very first violation in like 3 years. But Miss Priscilla Valadez is my officer. If you could please tell her.
No, that's not what we heard in the back.
Yeah,
That it wasn't related to your GPS. It was you bamming on walls.
no, it was me shaking the door to get his attention. But yeah, I think my thing's dead now and I don't want to get in trouble.
Mhm. Is there anything else?
Your Honor, he has probably never focused on doing what is right for as long a period as time as you've had him on probation as well as on your conditions of bond. It's amazing.
Look, it's going off right now.
Yes,
It just started to get.
okay. It's amazing the turnaround that he has done. It's working full time. Out of the, yeah, I feel it. Out of the I guess the situation, the friends that he was keeping, all of that, Judge. But he'll be the first to tell you it was you and this court, and it was your probation officers who have guided him and mentored him and advised him and counseled him all the way through. So I don't know that he could have done any of this without being under, your watchful eye and that of probation. You generally have some kind of excuses about ankle monitors, and typically, at least in 3 years, you think that you have some, even though it was just an accident, some violation, however minuscule, but gosh, I don't know how more perfect that you could get than perfect as far as his behavior and his record. And in view of the fact that, as you can see, he looks perfectly healthy. This is a life of no alcohol and no drugs. And just really getting a grip on the fact that he knows what prison's all about, Judge. He's been there. He knows what jail's all about. He's been in many. And he knows what his father's gone through, and he's still there. So I think he's really just made a world of improvement over his personal life. And because of all that you've done, professionally speaking, all the people he could blame, all the excuses he could have, he's got them if he wanted to use them. And you've never, ever heard him tell you anything about his past. His past is very checkered, no question. But also, the hand that he was dealt was not straight aces. He's made the best with deuces, and he's climbing out of a deep hole, Judge. And he wants to continue to climb that ladder all the way out and stay out. So I would hope that you would consider all the good that he's been able to accomplish and allow him the opportunity to continue doing what's right, what's good, what's healthy.
I mean, you can just look at him, he's living a healthy life. Well, it's true.
Yes.
All right, anything from the state? All right, so
That's something.
here's the thing. Mr. Garahan, I know you're not the one who worked out this agreement. And this is why the court likes for cases to move quickly enough so that everybody, no violation of due process will occur. Because many a times I will have people who come before me and cases have been transferred from other courts where somebody's on their fourth or fifth DWI. And they come to me and it's been transferred to my court. And this person has been on ignition interlock for 4 years because I end up with an old case that's been transferred from another court. And then what ends up happening is people will argue to me, this person has been in rehab for 2 years. Everything is going well for them. You know, isn't punishment about rehabilitation? And that's true. Punishment is about rehabilitation, but it's also about punishment. He was placed on probation by this court in another case, 2022 CR 11790. And he was placed on probation in that case because parties proceeded on it as a possession case. Let me check to make sure. Yes, parties proceeded on it as a possession case and the state was silent. And while these other two cases were pending, that's when the plea was entered into. The court did not receive information about these two cases because I'm assuming, and anybody can correct me if I'm wrong, labs were not in, so no one knew what the drugs were, would be positive for. And no information was presented to the court in the sentencing for the 2022 CR 11790 case, the weight of these drugs, what these drugs were for, because again, nobody had information on that. And the laboratory reports were not in. So hopefully more money will be spent in improving how long it takes for drug testing to come back. So we won't have a situation that we have now. So now what I have before me is I have a situation where somebody is on probation. The court hasn't received any violations of probation because these cases were pending when he was placed on probation. So technically that is not a violation. And in these two cases, you're a drug dealer. That's it. And you are building your happiness off somebody else's misery because drugs destroy lives and people who are drug dealers are doing it for a quick buck.
Correction, Your Honor, I do not
No,
do that
do not
anymore.
interrupt me.
Yes, ma'am.
You were dealing drugs.
Yes, I was.
You were building your happiness of somebody else's misery. There are people who are out there for whatever reason, maybe they're young, they don't know any better, and they start taking drugs, and the next thing you know, they can't kick them.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you have some people who are in their 30s, they start using drugs, and then they can't kick them.
Yes, ma'am.
But this is destroying people's lives, and this was drug dealing.
Yes, ma'am.
Why the federal government has not come to your doorstep, I don't know. This is state jurisdiction, so I'm just dealing with what I have before me here. Under normal circumstances, all things considered, if you just had these two cases and you're not on probation with the court, I'd send you to prison. But you're on probation. And so I have to deal with what I have here. So this is what the court is going to do. In each case, the court is finding you guilty. The court is sentencing you to 10 years in the prison. That will be suspended and probated for 10 years. These cases will run concurrently. Taking consideration CM 104043, NITMAG number 712122 and 712121. You're going to remain on GPS until further notice.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's GPS until further notice. Probation. I'm gonna want random field visits. Until further notice. And there's to be field visits no less than 2 months. No, I'm sorry, no less than every 2 months. I'm gonna order the MRT,
I didn't hear that.
MRT,
What is that, Joe?
moral recognition therapy.
Okay.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. The UA hotline until further notice. And probation, the UA hotline, he needs to be tested at least once a month and it's random. But if you all want to test him more than that, you can test him more than that. There's to be proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. And based upon what you said your occupation is, they need to know what you're on probation for. And they need to provide a letter to probation stating that you've informed them what you're on probation for. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. It's already in file. They have. I was 10 steps ahead. I already had it from my boss.
Yeah. All right. You need to turn it over to probation.
Yes, ma'am.
And probation, you need to call his employer to make sure that that's the employer. There's going to be 200 hours of community service restitution. Probation, is there anything else? And state, do you know if there's any restitution for, I'm going to put restitution for drug testing. And all right, and there's going to be restitution for drug testing and each cost. I think the DEA are the ones who did that. Let me double check. I think it would be the United States government, and we'll see who wants it as far as the funds.
I believe it was the state judge.
I'd have to check.
All right, let me check. It says Dallas. All right. All right, and probation, is there anything else?
No,
Anything else? All right, and also you're not, just 1 second, and also you're not allowed to possess any scales. So you're gonna have to figure out how else to weigh yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Probation? Yes, counsel?
Yes, Judge, are the 3 probations running concurrently?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
Thank you, Judge.
Hey, what do you suggest on my ankle monitor? Just call Miss Priscilla Valadez and say, hey,
Probation will tell you what to do with that.
thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the documents entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I should.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak with your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, probation.
Yes, Judge, in regards to the monitor, he is on the monitor through the trial services. So,
All right,
let that monitor removed or have the new monitor installed before removal or?
yes. I need to have a new monitor installed before removal.
Is that going to work release or what happens if we put that on?
All right, if it's through work release, we'll have to walk over to the jail. All right, they've been saying they don't want that anymore because they are law funds. You're gonna have to pay for GPS.
Okay, it's 300 a month. I remember you have waived that.
That's because you're with pretrial. but this
Okay.
is an outside agency, so I have I can ask that it be waived,
Okay,
but I have no authority.
So last December, I believe, I came to you. I'm like, you placed me on probation and said, hey, if you.
Okay, let me just stop you right there. So here's the thing, and we're off the record.
This one.
You were 2 seconds from going to prison. And when people are 2 seconds from going to prison, you know what they end up telling me? And I tell you, your attorney can tell you this too. And because I'm sure he's had clients do it to him. You know what? I will do a lifetime probation. And then when you get the probation, then you start asking for extra. So you need to hold on to the thought
Yes,
that
ma'am.
you were 2 seconds from going to prison for 10 years.
Yes, ma'am.
All
I
right.
apologize. Yes, ma'am.
And now you're on probation.
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to let that marinate.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I like that word.
right.
Marinate.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Yes. Yes. Deputy Laura, the audio is messing up because of the weather.
Priscilla Holiday.
All right. I will email Miss Valadez.
Consolidated, I actually in front of Judge Porter right now and Mr. Shaw in courtroom 187. I know my ink monitor has been going off forever, but I just want to let you know you are on your phone and I'm still here in the courtroom 187. Yes, ma'am, I have been here since about 8:30 this morning. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I just need to speak to Mr. Shaw right here. Okay. No, ma'am, I do not have that out.
Yeah.
Ms. Rashad asked if I could let you know that Judge Boyd is going to be sending you an email as well. But yes, I will go straight home and charge the implementer. So if it dies, please, I guess, don't bother me because I've been here all day, you know. All of this. Take care, bye-bye.
And Judge, that GPS is tracking you.
No, it shouldn't be. It should be for work. Yes. All right, Mr. Cantu,
Yes, ma'am.
you're allowed to work while you're on GPS until further notice. All right, thank you.
Because, okay, thank you. See, I can go straight on the phone. I worked a car mile. You know, it's in the parking garage, hope you get it to it. It's- All right, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. Maria Ruiz. Yeah, for some reason, audio keeps going in and out. Court is calling 2022 CR 2434, State of Texas versus Maria Ruiz. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense,
Attorney Edward Osfello, Ms. Reed's ready.
are you Ms. Ruiz?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, sir.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Ruiz, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Ms. Ruiz, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with harassment of a public servant? That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years, up to $10,000.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her? Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense? Ms. Ruiz, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, there is 6 years in prison, a $1,500 fine. State recommends community supervision. They were taking in consideration 2022 CR 2435. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 6 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 180 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, my client's been in custody for approximately a little less than 2 years now. She's undergone some treatment for mental health issues that she was going through. She's been diagnosed with schizophrenia, and at one point was incompetent to stand trial. Recently, within the last few months, she was found competent and transferred back to Bear County. She's been able to confer with me competently, go over her case, understands the proceedings against her. I believe she's ready to move on with her life. She understands that this isn't her. She doesn't want to be this person. She understands that the crimes that were committed were wrong. And I think part of that has to do with her mental health space at that time. But she's ready to move on and be successful in this probation. If I can speak to her living situation, Judge.
Well, before you speak to that, let me ask you. So was there a hearing heard in magistrate's court restoring her competency?
Yes.
All right, you may
And
proceed.
then again, Judge, yes, so she was restored in the last few months and brought back to Bear County, Texas. She was staying at Haven for Hope for a brief time, and then after that was staying in camps. I've spoken with her. Her plan going forward is to go back to Haven for Hope to get help with her living situation, and then obviously she's down the street from probation, make any appointments she needs to do with them. Obviously, as far as a phone number, she doesn't have that right now. I know probation can work with them, understanding how to get a hold of people at Haven for Hope. In addition to that, I think it would be a benefit to her to get services through Center for Healthcare Services as far as making sure she's continuing to be medicated for her diagnosis. I know when she was at the mental health hospital, they had her on some medications where in my conversations with her, it helped her stop with her shaking. Now back in jail, they're not giving her those same meds, a little different, but it is still helping the medication that she's taking. So any help with Center for Healthcare Services so that she can see a doctor, so that she continue to get the treatment that she receives. And then as far as the fees go, I know they did a $1,500 fine. You know, she's indigent, she doesn't have.
They'll be
employment.
waived.
And then I know in speaking with her a little bit more, her plan is to obviously try to apply for some jobs and get some employment. But I believe that she'll be able to be successful on this probation. Other conversation that we had, if she needs assistance from you, she knows to ask. You know, I told her that this court is open to helping defendants succeed on probation, and whatever that she needs, you'll do your best to help her. And that includes, you know, if for whatever reason something may happen at Haven for Hope outside her control. I know sometimes people end up getting kicked out, unfortunately. But I told her at that point, hey, go straight to your probation department, see exactly whatever help they can do for you. In closing, Judge, we tried different avenues in order to try to make sure to get whatever assistance she needed so that we set her up for success. This was the best case scenario in terms of what I could get done. And Mr. Reese understands that. So I just ask that you follow the plea bargain agreement and give her a chance with probation.
All right. So do you have any family here in San Antonio?
My mom says she moved and my brother is coming out on the streets.
All right. And so just your mom?
Yeah.
All right. Has Child Protective Services ever been involved in your life?
Yes, I grew up in Docket, so.
All right. And do you have any children yourself or no? What happened to your eye?
Oh, I had, it was a dog bite, and then I got into a fight a couple of days ago
At the jail?
at the jail, yes.
Okay. Have you ever had employment?
Yes,
Doing what?
Yoda. I was working at the Yoda plant.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Mhm.
I was working at the Yoda plant. With car parts, inspecting them. And McDonald's and Wendy's and, that's
Okay.
it.
And what was happening with you on this day
Um,
when this happened?
I couldn't remember.
Okay. All right, because in the police report, they said she was walking on the freeway.
Yes, Your Honor.
San Antonio is one of the few cities that I've been in where people walk on the freeway. Someone was running across the freeway and I almost hit them. They were just running across the freeway. And so, state, I don't know if this is a case that you all would consider maybe referring her to the mental health court and see if they'll accept her.
Judge, I think that, I don't know if that avenue has been gone down, but she does have a felony conviction for ag assault in her past,
So they're not going to accept her. Yeah. Thank you. All right. This is what the court will do. Court will sentence you to a $1,500 fine that will be probated. 6 years in prison, suspended and probated for 6 years. Taking consideration 2022 CR 2435. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There will be regular random UAs. Probation, do you know if lifetime recovery, I can't remember if they have a dual diagnosis program? And I think Haven for Hope is great, but maybe lifetime recovery would be potentially more stable. The issue is that she needs someone to make sure she's taking her medications. And she needs, I really would love to be able to release her if she already had a case manager in place, but it doesn't sound as though she has one. Usually though, when they're restoring competency, my experience is that they will have set her up maybe with a case manager. Did they do that at all?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do you have a case manager?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have you ever had a case manager?
No, ma'am.
All right. So that's what she needs. Somebody to make sure she's taking all of her meds and to check in on her. And let me let my fingers do the walking very quickly and see.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, the third.
Judge.
Yes.
To be a lifetime. Let's have a positive substance abuse disorder.
Okay. What about the San Antonio Recovery Center? Because they do have a dual diagnosis program. Okay. This is what I'll do then. I'm going to give you some options, right? And we'll see where that leads us. If it leads us down a path that we should not be on, then we'll figure out something else. I just don't want to set her up for failure. And I don't want her to leave the jail and she has no medications.
I agree, Judge.
So what I'm going to do is probation. We'll do regular random UAs. Have you ever used drugs in the past?
Yes.
All right. So we'll do lifetime recovery. She's used drugs in the past. What drugs have you used?
Ice and weed.
All right, so she's used ice and weed. So maybe that would get her into there
And drinking.
and drinking. Okay. So we'll do lifetime recovery. And see if, will they be able to pick her up from the jail? Because she doesn't have a place to go.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so,
Go ahead, Judge.
all right, we'll do lifetime recovery. And we'll have you released to lifetime recovery. Uh, 180 hours of community service restitution. Field visits. One time per month for 4 months. And do y'all have any trauma-informed care for her? Oh, you know what?
We need to do a make evaluation
Okay,
and, that's a COMI evaluation.
all right,
Set up her up for services, set up their services.
all right. So we'll do MIC evaluation. And how long is their evaluation if it were in custody?
I could probably get the make evaluation, that portion done within 2 to 3 weeks. But if further which we think that's gonna happen, that further evaluation, that's gonna be maybe September.
So this is what we'll do. We'll do MIC evaluation and a referral to Center for Healthcare Services, and that can be out of custody. And then both defense counsel and state and I will look into other options.
So at the moment, we're not ordering lifetime, or we are?
No, we are.
Okay.
And an anger management class. Probation, is there anything else?
She received type of SSI, or if you want to, anything like that, Judge.
Are you receiving any SSI? All right. So she's going to sign a medical release, and I'll do proof of employment or SSI within 45 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider with minors. And there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. All right, is there anything else?
Not in state, yeah. That's it for the defense, Your Honor.
Probation, anything else? All right, is there anything else you need from the court? All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question of what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand? All right, we're going off the record. Here's the thing. Mental health, I know sometimes people will take their medications. They have side effects. They're feeling good. They don't understand, why am I taking this medication and the side effects are bad, so I'm gonna stop taking it. If you see that you're having side effects or there's something about the medication that you don't like the way it makes you feel, you need to let your doctor know, because maybe they will give you something to counteract that, or maybe there's a different drug for you to take. Do you understand? Yes. But if you stop taking your medication, it appears we're going to be right back where we were before with you being incompetent. And when you're declared to be incompetent based upon the nature of your cases, guess what they do? They have to send you to the state hospital. That's the rules. Those are the legal rules. They don't have this option where, oh, well, we'll just do this or we'll do that. No, the law says you shall go to inpatient facility until you become competent. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And if you have any issues, let your probation officer know. If you feel that they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court. Do you understand? So we're gonna see if we can do something where you at least have treatment and you stay on your medications. And immediately, when you're released from custody, you need to immediately go to the Center for Healthcare Services, because I'm unsure if the jail is gonna release you with medication. Usually they don't. You understand? And if you don't have your medication, you know what's going to end up happening. You're going to end up back on the freeway and we're going to be back here. All right? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. Thank you. All right. We will be back tomorrow.